Cinema Steven here, and this is your review of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the long-awaited sequel to the 1988 original Beetlejuice. Now, I don't know if I should say long-awaited because I don't think people were really clamoring or expecting this movie to happen for the last 30 years, but once it was announced a couple of years ago, that's when it reached a fever pitch, and people were actually really excited to see it. So, it finally came out, and I know this review is a little bit dated, but I was kind of waiting to see how I felt about the movie, letting it marinate a bit. But I have to say that my initial opinion of the film stands. It's not great. It's not bad. It's good. I think it was a good kind of right in the middle movie. And that's pretty much my highest expectation for it, because when you make a movie to a sequel to something like this, you just hope for the best. You just hope that it's not bad. And it wasn't bad at all. And I also think that it absolutely helps that it was a sequel, because if someone was idiotic enough to go ahead and try and make a complete remake of Beetlejuice without Michael Keaton, without Winona Ryder, without Tim Burton, just forget it. It would die a death. And I'm glad that everybody came back. All the main components came back. And even Catherine O'Hara came back. And it was a really good decision to do that, because like I always personally say, sequels are so much better than remakes. Don't remake something with a new cast, and that you're defeating the purpose of what made the original so compelling. And if you had somebody else playing Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, forget it. Just absolutely forget it. Don't do it. So I'm glad everybody came back. That being said, the movie itself was good. It felt like a really good throwback to the old Tim Burton movies. The visual imagery, the kind of grotesque, gruesome imagery, it was all good. And there's some great cameos in the movie as well. My main complaint about it was the fact that there's so many subplots in it and too many additional characters. If you plucked out 3 or 4 of those characters, it would have no bearing on the actual plot of the film, and the main plot would still be continuing on. So I think it was a little bit overdone in that sense. But other than that, I think that if you love the original Beetlejuice, there's no reason why you wouldn't like the sequel. I'm glad that it was a big hit at the box office, because then it tells Tim Burton to say, hey, keep making movies like you used to. Let's keep making movies that brought you to the dance. And movies like Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, Miss Peregrine, stuff like that, they really don't scream Tim Burton to me. While they're not bad movies, well, maybe Alice in Wonderland, but Dumbo I thought was cute, but it's not a Tim Burton movie. This felt more like an old school Tim Burton movie, and that's what I was excited to see. And like I said, if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go watch it in the theaters. It's a very theatrical presentation. And of course, Danny Elfman comes back to score the film, as he naturally should. So if you like Beetlejuice, I highly recommend Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.